Hello everyone, welcome to Narayana IAS Academy. My name is Shubham Sagar, and in today's daily news analysis, that is DNA, we'll be taking 5 articles of Hindu and Indian Express from 6th August 2024. If we talk about the first article of the day, Watching Dhaka, which is on Indian Express page number 10. There are multiple articles regarding what is exactly happening in Bangladesh. We'll try to cover the detailed analysis. We'll try to do a rather detailed analysis of what is happening in Bangladesh, why all these things are happening, and what will be the implications for India going forward. If we talk about the second article of the day, which is on Hindu, page number 10, that is talking about Mudra loans. Here there are different keywords like what is NPA, non-performing asset. What is Mudra loan? What are different types of loans under Mudra loan? When was Mudra loan launched? So all these things we'll be talking about in this particular article. If we talk about the third article of the day, which is on Hindu page number 1, titled Justify Inclusion of 77 Caste in OBC List. So here we'll be talking about what is happening in West Bengal, why courts are asking for certain explanation from West Bengal, and what are the different criteria for including different caste under OBC. So this is a fascinating read because we are talking about sub-classification of SC and ST, or we have talked about them in the earlier videos. Here we'll talk about India and Africa and how they can jointly collaborate to tackle issues related to food security. If we talk about the fifth article of the day, which is on Indian Express page number 7, related to horticulture clusters, you'll try to understand Indian government different initiatives related to horticulture. What is horticulture? Plus there are different schemes important from exam perspective, which we'll be talking about in this particular article. After we are done with these 5 articles, we'll be solving 5 prelims practice question and 1 mains practice question. Because as we have discussed earlier, practice makes a man as well as a woman perfect. So let's get started. If we talk about the first article of the day, Watching Dhaka. Now this is an article, or this is a news which has been going around from last 2, 3, 4 days. But the speed at which different events are unfolding is actually very worrying sign for India as well. So now watching Dhaka, India-Bangladesh relationship, we have covered it a lot and we have covered different dimensions. So the current article is about the current context. What is happening in Bangladesh? What necessitated the need for Bangladesh PM to flee her country? And what should be India's stance now? And what should India do now? Which, like, India is currently very silent and is observing the things. Why is India doing what India is doing right now? So we'll try to delve into these matters. And again, if we talk about Bangladesh, India-Bangladesh in world history or in post-independent, as well as in, like, even when we are talking about international relations, questions have been asked in pre as well as mains. So context, what is the context? Bangladesh has experienced a significant political shift due to widespread protest. So earlier the protest was about reservation to, like, the people who have fought in the 1971 war or the descendants of them, 30% reservation, etc. Earlier the whole movement was about it. Then the movement shifted towards replacing or removing the PM. And that's how, like, again, there is a lesson here that you cannot tell everyone as traitor or something. You have to understand the core basics behind a protest. Maybe Sheikh Hasina was not able to gauge the core aspect of this particular protest. So Sheikh Hasina resigned and left the country amid student protest against reservation policies that evolved into a broader movement. Started slowly, then evolved into a broader movement against her authoritarian governance and corruption. It is said that Sheikh Hasina, during her governance, Bangladesh has flourished. It has become a very emerging economy. Development has happened. But one thing which most of the people, most of the political experts have said that it is an authoritarian government rather. And freedom of speech and expression, it has taken a toll under Sheikh Hasina. The Bangladesh army has taken control, promising an interim government to facilitate free and fair elections. So this is the current context, what has happened or what is going on in Bangladesh right now. She is in India right now. She wants to stay in India, but there are certain political experts who are saying that she will be going to UK. So let's see how the events unfold. So what should be now? This is a critical part. What should be India's role and response? And similar kind of thing has happened in Nepal in 2006. So whatever India is doing right now is a very apt policy, to say the least. So India must adjust to the new political dynamics in Bangladesh. India has to realize that maybe the people of Bangladesh have rejected the current government and respect their right to determine their own future. And currently India is also saying the same, that it is an internal matter, more or less different political, like, domains. They have, if we talk about India per se, they have said that this is an internal matter and we are following the matter closely. So yeah, comparison to Nepal's 2006 movement. And this is actually important because when you're writing an answer also, you can say that this is not happening in silo per se. These kind of things have happened in past as well in Nepal 2006. So Nepal 2006 People's Movement was directed against the monarchy which was ruling there. And again, India's support for the popular will in Nepal diffused tension. So again, at that time also, India followed a wait and watch approach, which we should be doing right now as well, to understand in which direction people want the government to go, in the case of Nepal as well and in the case of Bangladesh as well. So aligning with popular sentiments in Bangladesh can help mitigate the negativity from India's close ties with the previous government. So all these things, again, the basic core word here is wait and watch. Historical relations between India and Bangladesh. It is said that if we talk about Sheikh Hasina government, we talk about a negative aspect, authoritarian government, restrictions on freedom of speech and expression. But one thing which has happened is anti-India government or anti-India stance has reduced somewhat. Sheikh Hasina was seen as a pro-India leader, who held close ties with India, because of which connectivity to Northeast also increased to a certain extent. So under Sheikh Hasina, India-Bangladesh relations improved, enhancing regional peace and economic integration. Bangladesh no longer harbored anti-India elements benefiting India's Northeast. So again, there are concerns here in different corridors that maybe Pakistan and China will try to take advantage of the instability which is happening in Bangladesh. And we have to be again wary about it. And again, we should follow the wait and watch policy. So collaborative projects advanced mutual economic interest and India became a major power supplier to Bangladesh. So all these things are showing the green points or the silver lining associated with Sheikh Hasina government. But she is no longer there. And we have to respect that fact, or we have to keep that particular fact in consideration, even if we are not respecting that fact per se. Economic and strategic considerations. The long-term economic ties established between India and Bangladesh should endure the change in government. India should continue economic cooperation. It is said that Khalida Zia, again, political experts are saying that she may come into power after a certain period of time, and it has been directed that she should be removed from jail or should be released from jail rather. So many people are saying that Khalida Zia is anti-India or has anti-India stance more or less, and Sheikh Hasina was pro-India. But again, we should not be going, or we should not be having such kind of prejudice right now. And we should be a little bit, we should just wait and watch. Again, that is the word here. India should continue economic cooperation with a new government and avoid labeling the political changes anti-India or anti-Hindu. Again, in different quarters, in different media channels. And they are saying that there are so many Hindus in Bangladesh and they are at danger here. So we should be very wary of these kind of stances. Again, because this is a matter which is happening inside Bangladesh, we should be following it closely, but we should not be labeling it as anti-India or anti-Hindu. If you're doing that, we have to be very, very careful regarding it. Pakistan and China may exploit the political change to challenge India's influence, but India should rely on strong economic and cultural ties to maintain its position. One thing which we have, which Pakistan and China doesn't, is we are a natural neighbor of, if we talk about Bangladesh, and we can see it in the map also. So we are sharing boundaries. We have the longest boundary with Bangladesh. Myanmar shares some boundaries. So this is an advantage also. This is a challenge also, and this is an advantage also. Advantage why? Because we can keep a close tab on Bangladesh, unlike Pakistan and China. So we should be wary of this particular fact. So Pakistan and China may exploit the political change to challenge India's influence, but India should rely on strong economic and cultural ties to maintain its position. So geopolitical context. Bangladesh border situation, sharing a long border with India and a short one with Myanmar, presents both challenges and strategic advantages for India. Again, this is a key word. Challenges, many people can say that, okay, so many people from Bangladesh coming to Assam, coming to West Bengal, that is a challenge. But what is an advantage? That we can have a more closer look at Bangladesh than Pakistan or China. India should remain cautious and discreet, allowing the situation to stabilize, similar to its response to political changes in the Maldives. So again, wait and watch is the best policy right now, according to the author of the article, this particular article. Uncertainty about Bangladesh future. The composition of interim government is uncertain. Which party will be forming the government? What will happen? Military cannot remain in power forever, or can they? That is again a question. So continued unrest might lead to a direct political role for army as seen in past events. But for how long? That is the question. And again, Bangladesh looks like a case very similar to Pakistan. In Pakistan also, we keep on seeing army destabilizing the government in some way or the other. So vandalism of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's statue raises concern about the repudiation of his legacy. And again, we have to wait and watch. He was the one, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who has played a crucial role when we talk about liberation or creation of Bangladesh, he was seen as a hero. So is his image being maligned or not? That is the thing which is happening. And how far it will go, we have to wait and watch. Wait and watch is the key word here. Again, some segments of Bangladesh society might oppose the separation from Pakistan and adopt a hostile stance towards India. That's what we were talking about. Historical tension may resurface, but India should not let this influence its policy at this stage. And again, we have to keep on we have to keep a tab on what is happening, and we have to see the events unfold. So situation in Bangladesh is rapidly evolving, and India should adopt a wait and watch strategy, which we are doing right now. And India should maintain friendly relations and be prepared to respond diplomatically as events unfold. So there are certain keywords here, certain good things about Sheikh Hasina government, certain bad things about, let's say, Khalida Zia government comes. But again, whatever India is doing, like what India has done in the case of Nepal 2006, same or similar stance India should be taking or should be considering right now as well. If we talk about the second article of the day, now here there are certain terms in this article. So not all articles are as exhaustive as the previous article on India-Bangladesh relationship, which was more about what India should do right now and what example India can learn from the Nepal 2006. So this article is more about the terms, like NPAs on Mudra loans have come down in 23-24, says Nirmala Sitharaman. Now here the keywords are NPAs, non-performing assets. How many different types of NPAs are there? Then Mudra loans. What does Mudra stands for? Micro Units Development and Refinance Agency. And these kind of loans are given to whom? When was it launched? What are different kind of Mudra loans? So these are some keywords, and this is important more from pre-perspective. But again, these kind of terms can be asked in means as well. They can tell you what is NPA, what are different types of NPA, and also elucidate Mudra loans. So yes, both pre and means, but more important from pre-perspective. So previous year questions, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, already asked in 2016 rather. What is the aim of it? Once we are done with this article, you will understand the aim and you will be able to solve this PYQ. So what is the context? The context is very simple. This is actually a one-liner kind of a news, but there are different terms which need explanation. So the non-performing assets associated with Mudra loans have decreased, which is a good thing. And that was, this whole particular statement was given by Nirmala Sitharaman ma'am in the parliament. So in 2023, the NPA rate was 3.4%. And you can have a look at the data, 4.77. And please remember this. I've seen many good people making this mistake. They read it at they read this as 4.77. This is not 77. This is 77. 4.89%, 3.76% rather than 76. Don't say that. After decimal, you read it separately. So again, if you see the previous data, so yes, the NP rate, non-performing asset rate for Mudra loan rather has reduced. Now the terms, non-performing assets. What are different types of non-performing asset? And then we'll talk about Mudra loan. What are different types of Mudra loans? So a loan or advance for which the principal here, it's not only about you have taken a loan, let's say 100 rupees, and you have to pay 20% interest. So interest is 20 rupees, right? So NPA is not only about principal, it's about either principal or interest. So loan or advance for which the principal or interest payment remain overdue for a period of 90 days or more. If you have not paid either the principal amount or the interest from 90 days or more, then it will be classified under NPA. And then again, based on how long you're not paying, it will be categorized into substandard asset, doubtful asset, or loss asset. In simpler terms, it is a loan where the borrower has stopped making interest or principal repayments. It's not again only about principal, it also involves interest. So first category, substandard assets. So assets that have remained non-performing for less than or equal to 12 months. Again, pay attention, less than 1 year or equal to 1 year. Doubtful assets, assets that have remained in the substandard category for more than 12 months, more than 1 year. And loss assets, assets where the loss has been identified by the bank, but it has not been fully written off. There is, like, they believe that there is a possibility that they can take out or recuperate some amount of the money. So this is the loss asset. So please understand the order as well. First substandard, if we are like talking about how much like you have, like based on the seriousness level of the NPA, first substandard, then doubtful, and third is the loss asset. Now, Mudra loan, Micro Units Development and Refinance Agency. The question which can be asked by UPSC is, when was it launched? 2015. What is the aim? Providing financial support to micro and small enterprises, entrepreneurs, and non-cooperative small business sectors. Different kind of loans are there under Mudra. Even if you're a shopkeeper, vendor, you can ask for loans under Mudra. If you're involved in non-agricultural enterprises, you can ask for loans under Mudra. Sishu, Kishore, and Tarun. If you want loan till 50,000, Shishu. 50,000 to 5 lakh, Kishore, and then more than or between from 5 lakh to 10 lakh, that is Tarun. So Shishu, Kishore, Tarun, these three words, these three types of loan, you have to understand under Mudra. So these are some of the keywords. What are NPAs? Different types of NPAs. What is Mudra loan? When was it launched? Different types of Mudra loans. We talk about the third article of the day. And this is very interesting article because time and again from the last 1 week or so, we are talking about subcategorization under SC and ST. And here there is an article which is about, again, subcategorization under OBC. And which kind of OBC lists are there, whether for like central government, we have separate OBC list. For state government, we have separate OBC list. Who decides these OBC lists? What is the criteria? SC, ST, we have talked about it. Supreme Court judgment was there. Now here we'll be talking about OBC list. West Bengal government is in question here in this particular article. So questions on NCST, National Commission for Scheduled Caste, Scheduled Tribe has been asked earlier in mains as well as pre. So what is the context? Supreme Court recently passed an order regarding the inclusion of 77 castes, primarily Muslim communities, in West Bengal OBC list. So in West Bengal OBC list, 77 castes were categorized as OBC. Most of them were from Muslim communities. And Calcutta High Court, they rejected this particular new addition of 77 castes. And then West Bengal government went to Supreme Court. And now Supreme Court is saying that what was the criteria? That's what they're asking. By like which logic, which criteria you have included these 77 castes under OBC? The question which Supreme Court is asking from West Bengal government. So Supreme Court has given West Bengal government an opportunity to justify the inclusion of these 77 castes in the OBC list. This follows an appeal by the state against a judgment by Calcutta High Court, which struck down this inclusion. So hope you understood the basic context about this particular news. So Supreme Court has asked the state to clarify the nature and scope of survey undertaken to identify the social and educational backwardness of these communities. Again, there is a question, who are OBCs? Whom will you call OBC? Does Constitution define OBC? No, Constitution doesn't define OBC. We'll have a look at that later on in the subsequent slides. So, and again, there have also been allegations that there was no meaningful consultation with the West Bengal Backward Class Commission regarding the designation of 37 of these communities as OBCs. So there is a tussle going on and Supreme Court is like, they need a clarification. Like, how have you included them in the OBC category? The court has asked the state to include details of any consultation done during the subclassification of these castes for reservation purposes. Now, the more important part related to the news, because we are not interested in the political connotation per se. There is a political connotation, you can see it here. And sometimes central government and West Bengal government, they are also at tussles. And again, here, central government is not directly involved. Supreme Court is involved. High courts were involved. But still, we will try to understand the basic points or important points from exam perspective. What is the OBC status and what is the process of inclusion of caste under it? We have talked about it for SC, ST in the previous DNA. And we have talked about that means President under Article 341 and 42. He decides the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe categories, right? So let's try to understand what is the situation with OBC. So Indian Constitution does not provide a standard definition of OBC. Keep this in mind. And they are actually known as SEBC, socially and educationally backward classes. They are commonly referred to as other backward classes. So two major criteria are there. Socially backward, educationally backward. And now you have also included one other criteria, that is economically backward, which you are calling it as economically weaker section, EWS. And that was another argument earlier, that economic criteria cannot be the criteria for backwardness because economic criteria is not a fixed criteria. I am poor right now. 1 year after, if I get a good package, I'll be rich. So economic criteria is not a very valid criteria for backwardness. That was the justification or argument against EWS. Again, let's not go there, but you should be knowing about it. So OBC list. Each state maintains two OBC lists. Pay attention here. One at the central level for benefits from central government initiative and another at the state level for benefits from state government initiative. Now for these two, who will notify the OBC caste? Central list, Article 342A Clause 1 of the Constitution empowers the President, just like SC/ST, in consultation with governor of the state to specify the central list of OBC for a particular state or union territory. Any modification, if it is done, can be made by the parliament. Is it the same condition for SC and ST? Do check it out. And if you have the answer, you can post it in the comment section. State list. What about state list of OBCs? So Article 342A Clause 3. So it's similar. Article 341-42 was talking about SC/ST also. And 342A Clause 1, 342A Clause 3 is talking about different OBC list, central list and state list. So 342A Clause 3 authorizes each state or union territory to prepare and maintain its own list of SCBC, which may differ from central list. And again, reservation for OBC. If you talk about the constitutional provisions, again, Article 15 and 16 provide for reservation of OBCs. In 1990, 27% reservation for OBCs in central educational institutions and central government services based on Mandal Commission. Now, there are different commissions related to OBC. Sometimes they can even give you a chronological arrangement. The different commissions arrange them chronologically. And this 27% reservation, Indira Sahni case, Supreme Court upheld the reservation. We have talked about it in previous DNA videos. Creamy layer category was there. Same kind of subcategorization will be done now for SC and ST. But many people are asking that, where is the data? How will you do this subcategorization under SC and ST? Under Article 340, President can appoint a commission to investigate the condition of SCBC and recommend steps for their upliftment. Now, let's focus here. So we have talked about Mandal Commission. Then, Kalelkar Commission. It was constituted in 1953. Mandal Commission, 1979. Understand the chronology here. Recommendation of Kalelkar. This is a tongue twister, never implemented. But again, chronology is important. 2017, Justice Rohini Commission. So if you have to arrange them, Kalelkar, then Mandal, and then Rohini Commission, headed by Justice G. Rohini, to examine the subcategorization of OBC caste groups. The commission submitted its report in 2023, but it is yet to be implemented. So this is the current scenario. If we talk about the fourth article of the day, partners in food security. So there is a keyword here, food security. And then there are different entities. India is there, Africa is there. One particular conference is happening, and we'll try to understand the different prerequisite. What are the factors which leads to food security? We'll talk about that in detail. So first of all, poverty and hunger is there in GS2. Questions related to Food Security Act has been asked earlier. So we should be knowing about food security. So India is hosting, why we are reading this particular article? Because India is hosting 32nd International Conference of Agricultural Economists, when food security challenges are existing, especially in India and Africa. So there are different reasons why food security challenges are existing in India and Africa. We'll have a look at that as well. So International Conference of Agricultural Economists, ICAE. It is a major global event held every 3 years. Every 3 years, we are having this particular event organized by International Association of Agricultural Economists, IAAE. Do remember it. Sometimes they will ask you who organizes this particular, or ICAE is organized by which particular organization. So IAAE. So it gathers agricultural economists, policy makers and researchers to discuss critical issues in agriculture and food system. Each conference focuses on a specific theme and covering topics like food security, climate change, etc. So here the keyword or the important part of this particular slide was who is associated with ICAE, which organization is organizing or involved in the organization of ICAE, right? This particular conference. So food security exists when all people have physical, social and economic access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food. Now here there are 4 pillars. First, food availability. And please read these pillars, remember these pillars, because they can directly ask you different pillars of food security. So food availability, sufficient quantities of food available on a consistent basis. Second, food access, having sufficient resources to obtain appropriate food for a nutritious diet. Again, food access is important. Food utilization, proper biological use of food requiring a diet providing sufficient energy. It's not like you're eating like chili noodles or something like that. No. It should provide sufficient energy and essential nutrients. And then stability, access to adequate food at all times without the risk of losing access due to sudden shocks or cyclical events. So all these 4 are the pillars on which food security is based. It's not just about food availability or access or utilization or stability. It's about all the 4 at once, right? You should be having these pillars. Challenges to food security, population growth. So global population will be reaching 9.7 billion by 2050, increasing the demand for food by 60% compared to 2005 levels. Climate change, changes in climate patterns affect agricultural productivity, leading to crop failures, reduced yield, and increased food prices. And then economic disparities. There was a report by Lucas Chancel, Oxfam, that rich are getting richer, poor are getting poorer. And there was again, Lucas Chancel was saying that India today is more unequal than what it was in 1921-22. So all these factors are leading to economic disparity, which we have to keep in mind. Conflict and political instability, wars and conflict, they disrupt food production. Infrastructure and technology. Inadequate infrastructure and technology in agriculture can limit food production and distribution. Forward and backward linkages, when you don't have, then it leads to foods. So many foods get perishable items. They don't survive for long. So you need appropriate infrastructure and technology as well. which we talk about or we'll be talking about in the, I think, next article. So India and Africa face unique challenges. What challenges India is facing? What challenge Africa is facing? India. Economic growth versus malnutrition. So despite India's economic growth, malnutrition remains high, with 38% of children under 5 suffering from stunting. Now there is a homework for you. What is stunting? What is wasting? How will you differentiate them? Like, what is low height for age? Which is low height for age? Which is low weight for height? So if you know the answer, you can post it in the comment section. What is stunting and what is wasting? So there is public distribution system, there is NFSA, and we are trying to ensure this malnutrition issue. This is a very big issue for our country. Major issue, which is like concerning food security. Agriculture innovation. India is investing in agriculture research and development, but more needs to be done. Forward, backward linkages, so many things. Precision agriculture, genetically modified crops. There are so many issues related to GM mustard, GM cotton. We are having a discussion on that. How safe are they? So these discussions needs to happen and happen fast if you want to ensure food security for the longer run. Policy frameworks. The Indian government is focusing on policy framework that support farmers through subsidies, credit facility and insurance schemes. So we are doing our work, but land fragmentation. The land holdings are very small in India. And there is a term called consolidation of land holding that is very much needed to improve the productivity of these lands. Inefficient supply chains. Africa, underinvestment in agriculture. Most of the African countries are poor. They are not investing as much in agriculture as they should. Compared to other sectors, this underinvestment affects productivity and food availability. And when we are talking about climate vulnerability, Africa is highly vulnerable to climate change, affecting rain-fed agriculture. So, but again, they are doing something about it, like African Union Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program, CADDP. It aims to increase agriculture investment and resilience. Economic growth and nutrition. Africa's economic growth has not translated into nutritional security. The most important part is they have to invest in agriculture a lot more. Many countries are facing high rate of malnutrition and food insecurity. Collaboration with international partners is essential to address these challenges. If we talk about the last article of the day, in the previous article, we're talking about infrastructure and technology. We're talking about perishable commodities, how forward and backward linkages are very important. It's especially very important for horticulture. What does horticulture means? India is investing in horticulture, and we'll be having a look at what India is doing, different missions related to it, which states are performing very well in horticulture. Horticulture involves what? So there are keywords here, and we'll be focusing on that. Because when we talk about agriculture, GS paper 3, there are 2-3 topics which are dealing with agriculture, which we should be mindful about. So what is the context here? Union Agriculture Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan announced a series of initiatives to boost India's agriculture sector, focusing on improving farm incomes and self-reliance. 18,000 crore investment will be done in horticulture sector. And this is a sector which is very much sensitive to forward and backward linkages. You need proper connectivity because fruits, vegetables, they don't survive for long if you're not giving them proper infrastructure. So 6,800 crore oil seed mission as well. Oil seed, we need oil for cooking purpose as well as for other purposes as well. So there is an oil seed mission involved here as well. And that will reduce our reliance on import and may lead to export in future when it comes to oil seeds. So Chauhan emphasized the government's commitment to empowering farmers through schemes like PM Kisan Samman Nidhi and introduced plans for a digital agricultural mission or agriculture mission. So horticulture clusters. So what does horticulture means? It means when you're growing fruits, vegetables, but not only fruits and vegetables. So here there are different things, aromatic plants, then there are spices, nuts, mushroom, roots and tubers. All these things comes under horticulture. More often than not, most of these are perishable. So again, we are focusing, food processing is the keyword here. We are focusing on forward and backward linkages. We are focusing on cold storage. All these things play a crucial part here. And this investment of 18,000 crore will help in establishing 100 export-oriented horticulture clusters and will improve cold storage forward and backward linkages. So this initiative aims to enhance farm income by promoting production and export of fruits, vegetables, flowers and other horticulture products. So what are the keywords here in this particular article? Like not all the states will be doing awesome in horticulture. Like there is a state called Rajasthan, which is not doing that well in horticulture because of arid and semi-arid nature of that state. But then there are some states like Maharashtra, they're leading with grapes, banana and pomegranate. So we should be mindful. Sometimes they can even give you like different states and which horticulture product they're doing very good in or they're specializing in, etc., etc. Andhra Pradesh, Telangana excel in mangoes and citrus fruit. Kerala, spices, coconuts. Then Punjab, doing very good in quinoa and guavas. Himachal Pradesh, famous for apple orchards. So do remember, even if you forget one or two, do remember these states are doing good. But you're not seeing Rajasthan here. You're seeing Karnataka here. You're seeing West Bengal here. Not seeing Rajasthan here. Rajasthan is somewhat lagging behind when it comes to horticulture. Keep these points in mind. Economic impact. By creating specialized clusters, government intends to increase the competitiveness of Indian horticulture in the global market. These clusters will focus on high-value crops, improving farms' access to international market and boosting overall agriculture export. Just remember one thing. Earlier, there was a food processing minister. She's not the food processing minister now. Harsimrat Kaur Badal, if I'm not wrong. She used to say that India is the largest producer of food in the world. But the issue lies in food processing, because of which there is enormous food wastage. So please keep that in mind. Food wastage is happening on a very large scale. And we produce a lot of food. Food wastage has to be taken care of. And these clusters, horticulture clusters, will play a crucial role in reducing or removing, rather, that food wastage. So the oilseed mission, with a budget of 6,800 crore, aims to boost domestic production of oilseeds, reducing India's dependency on import of cooking oils. So again, if the dependency is reducing, then our current account deficit, etc. will be getting better and better. By enhancing self-sufficiency in oilseed production, the mission seeks to stabilize prices and improve country's food security. So what kind of oilseeds we are producing? They have given the name here. And which are the states? So Rajasthan is doing good here in oilseeds, but not per se in like fruits and vegetables production. They're primarily used for cooking oils. What is the use of oilseed? But some also have applications in cosmetic and industry. Domestic production helps reduce dependency on import, will save foreign exchange, and also supports the rural economy. Now, ENAM. So here, like, there was a lot of cases, a lot of issues related to agriculture mandis, which are there in states, which promotes collusive corruption. Farmers are not getting the price, the MSP, which government has announced, because mandis are in collusion with each other. So what government has done now, they have connected all these mandis online. So here, the person or the mandi from where the farmer will get the maximum price, he'll be selling it there. So this is ENAM, online trading platform, aimed at creating a unified national market for agricultural commodities. It connects existing APMC mandis across India, Agriculture Produce Market Committee, allowing farmers to sell their produce at competitive price. Now, again, it's all demand supply scenario now. And wherever like farmer is getting an opportune price, he'll be selling it there. So ENAM provides farmers with a wider market access, better price discovery, and ability to sell produce directly to buyers across the country. It also reduces transportation cost and time, improving overall market efficiency. Why we are reading it? Because ENAM was one of the keywords in this particular article. That's why I thought about touching this particular portion as well, because we should be knowing about ENAM and you should be knowing about mandis, and because they remain in news, and this collusive corruption, etc. Because of that also they remain in news. Now, we have done 5 articles. It's time for solving 5 prelims practice question and 1 mains practice question. And again, I will keep on reiterating it. If you are solving it, if you are indeed solving these 5 prelims practice question, please post your marks in the comment section, whether you're getting 0 out of 5 or 2 out of 5 or 1 out of 5. Whatever you're getting, please post in the comment section how many you're getting correct. Even if you're getting 0 correct, please post it. So, first question for you. Arrange the following commission in chronological sequence. We have talked about Kalelkar, Mandal and Rohini commission. What is the order? Kalelkar was first, so remove Mandal, remove Rohini, then Mandal and then Rohini. So that means the answer is C. You can pause me when you see the question. See the second question related to NPA and Mudra loans. And again, this is a tough question. If you're getting it wrong, don't worry about it. But if you're getting this particular question right, you can post in the comment section that you have got this question right. So loan becomes an NPA when the principal or interest payment remains overdue for a period of 180 days or more, 90 days or more, not 180. So just eliminate these two. Now you're left with substandard assets are those. Again, you don't have to check 2 also, because you are only left with C or none. Means only 3 or none of the above. Just directly jump to 3. Option elimination always helps. Under the Mudra scheme, the Kishore category, Shishu, Kishore, Tarun, 50,000 to 5 lakh, that is correct. So answer is C. Third question. Despite India's economic growth, which of the following issue continues to pose a significant challenge to food security? Again, a tough question. You can go back to the previous article on food security, and the answer is high rate of malnutrition. That is posing a significant challenge to food security. The International Conference of Agricultural Economists is organized by which of the following association? And the answer is International Association of Agricultural Economists. We have talked about it. It was on the first or second slide of that particular article. Which of the following state is not traditionally known for its significant contribution to India's horticulture sector? And again, when we are talking about each state, their contribution, Telangana, etc., mangoes, we have talked about a particular state which was not very known for horticulture sector because of its arid and semi-arid nature. The answer is Rajasthan. Now, mains practice question. Discuss the implication of recent political upheaval in Bangladesh for India's foreign policy. And here you will talk about what has happened, Sheikh Hasina's resignation, army's assumption of control, what India should do, how India should learn or draw parallels from Nepal 2006 movement and accordingly react. Wait and watch is the best policy right now which we are doing. So body adjusting to new political dynamics. Whatever new government comes, even if army is in control, we should be to not be too hostile. Like what happened in Afghanistan, we can learn from that as well. Maintaining economic and strategic ties that should continue irrespective of whichever government comes. Geopolitical consideration. Pakistan and China, they'll be getting active now. And we should be very mindful of that. Now, comparison with Nepal's 2006 movement, parallels with Nepal. The people were not happy with the monarchical government there. Here, many people were not happy with the Sheikh Hasina government, and we should be respecting that fact as well. Lessons learned, and these are the lessons which we are talking about that has been or that should be in mind of the current Indian government, and they are actually. So challenges and opportunities, potential adversarial posture rather. There is a risk that historical tension and anti-India sentiments could resurface in Bangladesh. But again, we should not be taking drastic measures. We should be seeing it, how the events unfold, and accordingly we can decide our future course of action. Opportunities for enhanced cooperation. Political change presents an opportunity for India to engage with a new Bangladeshi government on mutual interest, including economic cooperation and regional security. And again, we should not be seeing the other government which will be replacing Sheikh Hasina government as anti-India something. We should be having a neutral stance and we should be seeing how the events unfold. These are the keywords which we are continuously repeating. So, the evolving political scenario in Bangladesh requires India to adopt a wait-and-watch strategy. Ensuring regional stability while respecting the democratic will of the Bangladeshi people will be key to fostering positive relations with the new government and sustaining India's influence in South Asia. So, that's it for today's DNA video. If you like this particular video, do like, share and subscribe. Please post your marks in the comment section, whatever that is. And yeah, I'll be seeing you soon. Take care, be blessed. Bye-bye.